Hello, I'm Eddie.
And I'm Susan.
And we're the Boomers. Welcome again to another episode of the Boomers. As we were preparing for another episode, we looked around at the headlines and saw something that caught our attention, and we decided we would do a show on this. The increase of cancer associated with obesity is on the uptick, and it seems to be a very alarming statistic.
We have read also in the same study that 70% of Americans are in the overweight, obese category. So 70% have the potential for cancer diseases?
Well, as you've learned before, if you've watched another episode, what our main purpose is to talk about nutrition, how it relates to our health. And poor health will be the propensity for diseases. And good health equates to weight loss and the not so curing a disease, but the elimination of the possibility of it forming in our body by boosting our immune system.
So in the study that we were reading, they want to equate cancer with obesity. So we've talked about obesity being a result of malnutrition, poor nutrition. So obesity is related to nutritional deficiency. Would it be safe to say then that cancer is a result of poor nutrition or is a nutritional deficiency?
That's a hard one for a lot of people to say that, hey, all you got to do is nourish yourself properly and you won't have any diseases. But here on the Boomers, again, we strongly believe that our boost in immunity from proper nutrition, and it starts in our digestive tract.
Yeah, the digestive tract is the first to receive the food. Therefore, it's got to take its portion of good nourishment so that it can be viable, healthy, and strong to spread that nutrition to the rest of our body and equate to good health.
That's right. The digestive enzymes it produces, the mucosal lining for our intestinal tract to protect it from pathogens itself. The very things that we dump in our mouth that can be devastating to our digestive tract are the same things that causes our pathogenic profile to increase, meaning that we can become diseased by the very things that we consume.
Think about some of your friends and some of the common digestive issues you know about right off the top of your head. There's GERD, or gastric reflux, sometimes known as acid reflux, ulcer disease of the stomach. Maybe you know somebody with irritable bowel syndrome or diverticulosis or even Crohn's disease. All these affect the digestive tract from here all the way through.
And not only that, if you imagine the other types of digestive issues we have when you're not producing the right enzymes that actually break the food down, when your stomach is not having the proper acid content that can break the proteins down in our bodies, B12 is not absorbed properly. We have an array of different issues that we have to take care of in our digestive tract before we become nourished. And the problem begins if the food we're consuming is actually detrimental to our digestive tract.
If we have unhealthy digestive issues and we're medicating or alleviating the symptoms, are we also causing detriment to the way our body can and is supposed to absorb the nutrients that we feed it?
Well, the tiny microscopic absorption cells are the first to receive that nourishment or that detriment. They are on the front line in our digestive tract where they produce enzymes that break that food down. But if that's impeded, that nourishment gets passed over. It's the same with any type of food we eat. It can become an anti-nutrient or it can become very nourishing and feed those very cells immediately, strengthen them, and allow us to be discerning and pass those pathogens out of our body, cause us to have a better digestive tract with zero problems, and intentionally improve our health.
Yes, if we continue to take our digestive symptoms and treat just the symptom without finding out why or what's going on in our bodies, we're going to miss out on some of that good nutrition.
Yeah, we always do the analogy of if you don't take care of your car's engine and balance your tires and change your oil and service your transmission, doesn't matter how your car looks on the outside or how clean it is on the inside, you're eventually going to be down by the road. And the same with our digestive system. It's kind of our engine. It's kind of where the fuel is burnt, where it's pulled into our bodies, assimilated into nourishment that can then be dictated into health in the rest of our bodies.
And that's the goal here on the Boomers, is to find out how we can take that energy, that food that we take in, that fuel, and break it down in the healthiest fashions, first feeding our digestive tract and then going on to the rest of our organs, our heart, our brain, all our hormonal glands, keeping in balance with that. We want to get our bodies right from the inside out. The outward appearance does come with that. It's a great byproduct. Glowing skin, weight loss, normal weight, and certainly all the other attributes of outward health start inward.
And not only that, if you look inward and you see problems, you generally see problems on the outside. And here we are again with weight gain. And a lot of people go through a lot of changes in their lives, extreme changes, from bariatric surgery to extreme diets, extreme exercise, and yes, they do have the effect of weight loss. And again, that is a positive thing on the body. There are reports of people, again, not having diabetes after bariatric surgery. The reason for that is they burn their fat. And as that fat was burning, it gave nourishment to the body. It does a lot of things in the fat burning mode that keeps us healthy, but that in itself is unsustainable. Here on the Boomers, we're about sustainability. We're not about losing the capability of our body's nourishing system that we have in our digestive tract of being compromised. And one of the big things, unfortunately, about bariatric surgery, the most extreme I can think of, is that you lose that capability. And over time, there is no capability of maintaining your health when these type of extremities are taken, even extreme diet.
Anything that you do to decrease the ability of your body to do its natural absorption is going to have an effect on you, usually in the long run for the worst.
And again, nourishing the very parts of our body, maintaining our engine and transmission, nourishing those parts of our body, those tiny microscopic cells that break down those food particles, they get their nourishment first, or they get their pathogens first. Our diet is loaded with things that cause digestive issues, and if it causes a digestive issue, it's going to cause a disease, because a digestive issue in itself is really a disease.
On the Boomers, we want to expand on what is good nutrition, what are the healthiest things to eat, how our body processes the foods. Today we just wanted to start with letting you know how important the digestive system is. If you'll follow us on further episodes, we are going to go into more of what the diet should include, how we should pair foods, what is healthiest to promote the highest level of absorption of good nutrition.
And you're going to find too that it's going to be radical, it's going to be controversial, it's going to hurt some of your feelings, but it's the truth about nutrition. How we maintain the health of our digestive tract is first and foremost. You will never have the health that you were meant to have if that digestive tract has issues. And again, the absorption capability, the digestive capability of that nourishment can't be dictated to by improper nutrition that you put into your mouth and expect it to be exchanged and translated into health.
We've already talked about cancer. That's what the news headline was today. Cancer is associated with obesity. And we've also talked to you before about other diseases that we know are associated with obesity, the diabetes, the stomach problems, but there's also heart problems, heart disease, poor cognition with Alzheimer's and problems like that. We have pancreatitis that does develop into diabetes at times or affects our gallbladder and our ability to digest foods from the very start. There's so many issues that you can relate to obesity. The cancer headline is just one that really shocks us because nobody thinks of cancer as being related to nutrition. But all our studies show that good nutrition equates to good health, no matter what your disease
And
process.
associating cancer with obesity and associating obesity, diabetes, with poor nutrition, the encouraging part of this, and just that thought in the back of your mind that maybe, just maybe, nourishing, beginning with my digestive tract, allowing it to nourish the rest of our bodies, could that be the answer to most of our diseases, especially one as bad as cancer, and how the C word, it resonates across our whole country, through families, through people you're associated with. It's a horrible disease. And for that to be associated with obesity, and on the Boomers we understand about nourishment, how that dictates our body's health. This could be something that I'm leaving you with that is very encouraging, not just cancer, but an array of many diseases that we face every day. And about the cognitivity of the brain, we have some wonderful evidence about that and how it too, and I'm going to encourage a lot of people out there, is associated with exercise. There's a reason for that, because we begin to burn fat. When we begin to burn fat, anything that makes us lose weight makes us healthy. And so it's a constant headline that diseases associated with obesity, which now, by the way, is a disease in itself, but it also is a disease of our digestive tract. And as long as we continue to put those foods in our body that cause detriment to our digestive system, we're going to have a pathogen produced in our body, whether it's pancreatitis, gallbladder disease, whether it's irritable bowel, which again covers so many things. Those types of diseases are nutritional deficiencies put in our bodies by anti-nutrients, things that pass over the nourishment, also that attack the very nourishing parts of our digestive system.
If we're not able to absorb nutrients, if it's an anti-nutrient, it's preventing nutrition. And if we're attacking our body that can discern and choose the right nutrition, then our pathogenic propensity profile will increase.
It does rise. And I want to leave y'all with this, is we often get a lot of headlines that distract us. We want to answer your questions. We want you to give us your feedback, how you feel about things. And yes, we are going into what anti-nutrients are, what nourishes our body, how we can do better at the grocery store, how you can recognize things that you put in your buggy that can be devastating to your health and your family's health, how you know people that need help, how you see people that need help, and how we are going to go into some of those issues in further episodes. And again, I think you're going to be very surprised and very pleased, because you're going to have the truth, the understanding, the comfort that comes from being able to take control of your health, understand why your problems are what they are, and help your body reverse them.
Please like us and subscribe on this YouTube channel and give us your feedback. Like Eddie said, we need to hear from you. We'd like to know if you have a family member or yourself have had cancer. Were you instructed on a certain diet? What things worked for you? What things comforted you? What things were helpful and what things did you think were not so helpful? some of those things will help us in our studies as well to help you as we, the boomers, look to guide you to good health through nutrition.
And again, stay tuned. We're the
We're
boomers, and we're cruising for health.